Now, once we have our test cases, we may want to be able to save these and run them again. So we can do that very easily in Selenium IDE. The first thing that we can do is we can just say save test case, and we can just save our test case here. So let's go ahead and say Google Tests. And then if we go to that directory here, you can see it creates this HTML here, and I can actually just load up this HTML, and you can see that it's actually created a HTML table, just like we had seen when we look at this IDE and we look at the source of this. It's exactly that. So we're able to save in that format, which is somewhat useful because you could just reopen this from Selenium and be able to rerun those tests. But something that's really neat that we can do is we can actually export this into WebDriver. And we haven't really covered WebDriver yet. We're going to cover that in the next module. But this is really the useful feature that we're going to utilize for the rest of this course. So in order to do that, first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to options here. And there's something I like to turn on in the options here, which is under formats. And we're going to go ahead and select the C# NUnit WebDriver combination. And here you can see I've turned on show Celanese. And if you turn this on, it's actually going to embed the Celanese command directly into our code here, so we can have that and understand exactly what's going on. And so we'll go ahead and click OK here, and then we're going to go to File, and we're going to say Export Test Case As, and we're going to choose C# NUnit WebDriver. And you can see that you can export to several different languages here, and you can actually add more languages using the plugin architecture. But we're going to just say C# NUnit WebDriver, and we're going to go ahead and say Google Tests. And when we look at this folder now, you can see we have this Google Test.cs. And if I go ahead and edit this, you can see that it's actually created some C# code. And what it's done is it's used NUnit to do this. So we have some code generated for us that we could just run that would actually execute this test. And you can see here also that it's formatted nicely and it's organized fairly well. And because we have the Celanese command in here, we can actually see what's going on. You can see we're doing this driver.navigate, go to URL, and then we've got these searches that we're doing. We're clearing the search text. We're sending some keys. We are doing a click on our search submit. And so you can see everything that we had specified inside that Selenium IDE is now written for us here. And this is just a great starting point for writing some WebDriver code. When we get into the next module here, we're going to see how to actually use WebDriver. But this is a bit of a shortcut rather than having to figure out all the elements on the page and try to figure out yourself how to select them. You can use the recording tool to give you a bit of a boost there so that you don't have to do so much by yourself.